All right, so everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David, Baruch Hashem. Another beautiful day here in Eretz Yisrael, Baruch Hashem. You have this list to be here. And we always learn for the well-being of the Chayalim, the Chatufim, and the Pitzuim, right? The soldiers, the captives, and the injured. Hashem, please show them a lot of mercy. We all need mercy. All Klal Yisrael, all around the world. Okay. And we'll learn, and that's what we can do. So, Baruch Hashem, we're learning Hilchos. We're in Likutey Halachos. We're learning Hilchos Kriyas HaTorah, and we're in Halacha Vav. And today we're up to letter Gimel, so 6-3. And again, this Halacha Vav is based on the second in the book of Tinyana, the second book in Likutey Maran, lesson 8, right? Ches, which is Tikkun Teichacha, and really to learn how to give Teichacha. We're learning about the idea that you have to do it with Rachmanis, right? When you give for a Teichacha, you have to do it always with Rachmanis, never with anger. If you want to rebuke somebody and you're angry about it, it'll never work. And you need a lot of siyata d'shmai to do that anyway. So now we're learning these ideas of when we read the Torah, right? We learned the ideas so far, the days of the different times that we take out of Torah and we read the Torah, and we discussed how many aliyos that we do. So today we're going to continue the lesson, and here we go. So it's Gimel. Ubeshvil ze koyrim b'sheni u'b'chamishi shloisha Kohen, Levi, and Yisrael. Therefore, we read the Torah on Mondays and Thursdays, as we know. And on Mondays and Thursdays, we call up 3 people. Right? We call up the Kohen, we call up the Levi, and the Yisrael. Right? Whenever we have a Kohen, right? Oh Hashem. Okay, which is Shehem Bechinas Chachma, Bina, and Das. Right? So you have the idea that you have the spheres, the Chachma, Bina, and Das, which is the upper 3 of the 10 spheres, right? Chachma, Bina, Das, right? Sometimes it's Keser, Chachma, Bina, right? But and then we said that we're talking about the 3 the 3 parts of the mind, Sheyu Mechitzas Perusais, that we talked about that yesterday. Remember that? The 3 sections of the mind are the divisions, the partitions, to keep out illicit thoughts, wrongful, immoral thoughts, and things like that. That's what the 3 are. Sheyu b'china shleisha mine rachmanis. There'll be 3 types of rachmanis. Okay, b'china shleisha tfilas b'yom, and 3 tfilas every day. Right, so let's talk about this. So we have 3 tefillas every day, right? So we have one. We have his. We'll start with Shabbos. So Vayashkem Avram Baboker, right? Vayashkem Avram Baboker. Avram Avinu was the one that instituted the idea of Shabbos. Right? That was Avram Avinu. Right? Everyone knows that. Yitzchak Avinu, V'Yisuch Basada. He went out in the afternoon and he was davening. And we said that Yitzchak Avinu established Mincha, right? And Yaakov Avinu, it's actually very interesting in last week's parsha with the ladder. So Yaakov Avinu came, he came to this place, and then the sun set. Hey, wait a second here. I didn't get a chance to daven Mincha. My father established Mincha. Now the sun set. I thought I had plenty of time. So what did Yaakov Avinu do? So Yaakov Avinu said, wait a second. I can't wait to daven. I can't wait to daven in the morning, because then I'm passing over the whole night. So Yaakov Avinu established Ma'ariv at that time. Did you know that? That's when he established the daven Ma'ariv, because he didn't want to. Because the rule is if you miss a tefillah, right? Let's say for whatever reason, whatever happened, you missed the tefillah, right? Again, that's only ba'onis, not if you did it purposely. If you knew the time that you had to daven, and you were involved in something else, and then you just let the time pass, you can't be mishalim that tefillah. you can't make up that tefillah, right? But if you something happened, whatever, you got busy, you lost track of time, and it wasn't purposely. So then you can make up the tefillah, the next tefillah, right? So let's say, for example, if a person missed Mincha, he can say a second Shmon Esrei in Ma'ariv, and then he can be mashlim, he can fulfill Mincha, he can make up the tefillah at Ma'ariv. So Yaakov Avinu had a problem. He couldn't do that, right? We know that the Avos kept the Torah, right? So you can't. But if you missed Mincha and you didn't make it up at Ma'ariv, you can't do it at Shabbos. You have to do it at the next tefillah, whatever that next tefillah is, right? If you miss Shabbos, then it's at Mincha. If you miss Mincha, it's at Ma'ariv. If you miss Ma'ariv, then it's at Shabbos, okay? And so on and so forth, right? Person went to sleep, he didn't realize, he got tired, whatever it is, he went to sleep, and he wakes up in the morning. What does he do? So he missed Ma'ariv, right? He didn't do it purposely, right? That's why they say don't go to sleep before you daven, right? Because it may happen. But if whatever it happened, right? The guy was busy, he was tired, whatever it is, so he can make it up. So that's the three tefillahs, okay? The three tefillahs of every day. So again, we're learning all the beautiful things of three, okay? We have three aliyos, Kayin, Levi, and Yisrael. We have that are connected the Chachma Bina Das. Right, we learned about the Chachma Bina Das. We learned a lot about that. Remember connected to the tefillin. Do you remember that we learned it with tefillin? Right, on one side of the tefillin, there's a three. There's a shin with three heads, right? And then on the other side, you have four. So remember we learned about that. Does anyone remember?
Yep.
Yeah,
I remember.
Okay, so the three, the Chachma Bina Das.
I'm looking at your tefillin. Oh. Yeah.
Right, you have three, and then the other side you have four. Right? It's interesting, right? It wasn't a mistake. we learned from Nassim. He explained to us based on the teachings of the Arizal that the Chachma Bina Das, the Das can convert into Chesed and Gvura. Right? In other words, you have Chachma Bina and Das. Yesterday we were doing the other. We did Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes. Right? So Chachma Bina. Chachma's on the right, Bina's on the left. Tiferes, Chesed, the Das is in the middle. So the Das can convert into Chesed and Gvura. And that's how you get the 4. 3 and then 4. Okay? All right, well, that's a side thing. Let's go to Dalet now. V'zeh bechinas kriyas haTorah b'Shabbos b'Mincha. Okay, so now we're discussing all the different times that we read the Torah, right? So we established why we do Monday and Thursday. We spoke about the beauty of the main kriya is on Shabbos, but then we have another kriyas haTorah at Shabbos by Mincha, which is interesting, right? Normally you don't read the Torah at Mincha. Only if it's a tainus, right? On a tainus you'll read the Torah, but if there's not a tainus, right, you don't have it. So here you read it on Shabbos Mincha. The husband Mincha who samech la'afuke Shabbata. It's the time that the Shabbos is about to go out. So the way it works when it works on Shabbos and Kedusha is Friday night is holy, is great. Shabbos morning is amazing, right? But Mincha time, when Shabbos is about to leave, that's the highest time of Shabbos. That's the highest time of Shabbos. People don't realize that. They think Friday night is the highest part of Shabbos. And it's great. Friday night's great. It's great. Yeah, but Shabbos by Mincha is the highest time. And then we're going to learn now, that's why you're supposed to daven Mincha. Don't try to daven Mincha Gedola, try to daven Mincha Ketana. We'll see why we're going to learn about that. Samach Yemei Achol, because it's closer to the time of Chol. Your Shabbos is about to leave. So it's so special. That time is so special because it's still Shabbos, but it's that time that Shabbos is about to leave. And that's what we learned. That's what we say when we learned in Likutey Halachos, we were learning the idea of the Volatzia. Remember? So we said that in the morning we don't say we say Ashrei without the Volatzia on Shabbos morning. But we say Ashrei in the Volatzia and by Mincha because again you need the Aramaic. Remember we said that you have the Aramaic, you need the Aramaic to be mashlam the Lashon HaKodesh to give you that extra kedusha when Shabbos is, so that's why we have okay. Okay. Koirin oz b'Torah lahamshich kedusha Shabbos shows ikar kabbalas haTorah. Because then, Malkein Koirin oz, then you read then b'Torah lahamshich kedusha Shabbos shows ikar kabbalas haTorah. That's the main kabbalas haTorah is on Shabbos. When was kabbalas haTorah? Was on Shabbos, right? We got the Torah on Shabbos. That's the main kabbalas haTorah Shabbos. Ikar beirer amunas chidush olam. And that's the main clarification of Chiddush Olam, right? This Reb Noson's talking. The Rebbe is talking a lot about this in that lesson 8 in Tinyana. The idea of Chiddush Olam. Two aspects of that Hashem made the world yesh me'ayin, right? That Hashem made the world something from nothing, right? And Chiddush Olam, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is constantly remaking the world, constantly. Like Yossi said this morning, new guy, right? See that?
Not on cruise control.
Right?
Not on cruise control.
Not on cruise control, right.
Engaged.
You have to be right. Not passive, right? You have to be active. Active, right? Kol HaKedushas ha'elu liyemei ha'chol sheyiyah lanu koyach gam b'yemei ha'chol levorer emunah kedosha shayidei zeh kol hatikunim. So whenever you mevarer emunah, whenever you clarify your emunah, right? Whenever you understand, that's how you make your tikunim, right? Recognizing it's all Hashem, right? We only make mistakes when we forget Hashem, right? When we have Hashem on the forefront of our mind, and we're constantly thinking of Hashem with emunah, so then that's of course that's where all the tikunim come from. Ki b'mincha b'chol dina takifa sholta. We know mincha in the weekdays. It's a very very powerful time of din. There's a lot of din going on at mincha. But the time of Shabbos is the Eis Ratzon at Mincha. Like we say when we take out the Torah, Eis Ratzon Elikim Rav Chaz Dechanin. Right? Mincha by Shabbos is the Eis Ratzon. You can transform the din into great Rachmanis. Right? Again, we're trying to get back to Rachmanis. We said that the Rachmanis is being taken by the other side. The other side tries to use the Rachmanis for their own agendas, right? And they take the Rachmanis away. We can get back to Rachmanis. At that time, we can take the din and turn the din into Rachmanis. V'akol chayashu b'chinish shleishet tzadikim shenistalku oz b'Shabbos b'mincha. And that's because of the merit of the 3 tzaddikim that left the world at that time by Mincha, right? There was the time of Rava the Ravin, that special time of Shalosh Shudas, right? And you had Yosef, he passed away at Shabbos by Mincha time, and you had Moshe and David, right? The 3 tzaddikim that passed away. That's why you say tzidkasa, you say 3 times. The three stanzas are for the 3 tzaddikim, right? Connected to what?
Who are the 3 tzaddikim?
Yosef, Moshe, and David. Right. So that's how you can be misak in everything. Again, when you have the emunah in the tzaddikim and you're davening a tefillah at mincha, the time of din, but that's the time of rachmanis also. So you could take the din and you could be mahapich the din into be rachmanis. Shezeo bechinas kriyas haTorah. That's the whole idea of kriyas haTorah. Because again, whenever you read from the Torah, you could fix your koyach hamedama, right? We always have that. We have the imagination. What we think is important, right? Our mind, like the way advertisements work, right? They show you something, then you try to imagine. Oh, if I had this thing, it's going to be great if I had this thing, right? Koyach hadimyan, right? But when we take out the Torah and then they pick up the Torah and you see the letters of the Torah, it should make an impression on the person where the person then takes that in and he realizes, wow, that's what's really important. You see something, right? You see the Torah, you see the words of the Torah, you realize that's really, then it can really help a person's, the koyach hadimyan, right? The koyach of the imagination. Alkei noigim kol tzadikim v'yireim loyimar Torah u'musa b'su the shlichus shel Shabbos b'yoser. That's why most of the tzadikim, right? Would give their deepest talks, during Shalosh Shudas. Right, the deepest talk they would give a drasha during the day, but most of the tzaddikim will always give their talks, like when the Arizal would be Shabbos by Mincha. That was his deepest talk. Right, that's the way it worked. Right, he gave his deepest talk, and even the Rebbes today, whoever they had, they always give their Torah during. Did they do it also by the Sfardim?
No, but
No?
I remember all the Hasidic places I went to. That was the big,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Rabbi Weinberg is very big on giving his Torah at Shalosh
Lights
Shudas.
are down.
Lights are down, yeah. Lights are down, yeah. There's a reason why. Do you know why he has the lights down? Because when you could think better. When everything is so bright and you're seeing, it's a very special time. So it's also a special time, Shabbos by Mincha, to think. Spend time to think, right? So when you're looking at people, this guy, this guy, the lights are down. You just
Looking at your watch.
you're looking at yeah.
These guys new.
No, yeah, no, true.
Smart.
They used to use candles, and by the time
not
it
looking
came
at the
to
watch, I don't know.
in the afternoon, the candles already broke down. It's not like, I didn't have a Shabbos clock. Or something.
So you're saying that there's nothing special about it. That's just the way it was.
It's special. It's special.
Okay.
No, I mean they could have put bigger
Okay.
candles. You know,
It's
but-
the only.
They
it's
could
the
have
only
bigger
Suda that I
candle.
don't
Of course
fall
they
asleep.
could have. What?
But it's the only the Suda that I don't fall asleep at the table.
Which one?
So Sudas.
That's because you just slept the previous couple hours.
Yeah, but these
No, I know
Shabbos
that.
now, Shabbos is so, the afternoon's so short, you know. You get your sleep, you get it, yeah. That's Einik Shabbos, right? That's the Einik Shabbos, right?
What the Teimanim do though is the Seudah Shishit is the biggest meal. Like that's the meal. That's the main meal.
Right.
Seudah Shishit is the main meal. Like not the lunch or Friday night, but the big meal. I know with Ashkenazim I see some like egg salad or
Right, but you have a real meal,
it's like a big meat meal.
a big meat meal.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Yeah,
By
the
Teimanim.
Yeah.
No, but we learned about that. Remember, we learned why? Because, you know, the Hashem is so happy when Shabbos comes, and he calls all the malachim in, and he says, look, Friday night, see all the guys, they're making a Suda, look up at Shabbos. So then the malachim say to Hashem, yeah, but the guys, it was a long week, and they just want to eat, they're hungry. And Hashem said, okay, fine. Shabbos morning, they go sit down again. And Hashem is so happy. See, I told them they have Mlechem Mishnah, Kiddush, what, the Givaldi, it's beautiful. Now they're hungry. It was a long davening, and the rabbi spoke too long in the shul. They want to eat. But when it comes to Shalosh Shudas, especially these short Shabbosim, Hashem calls them up. Like, now what are you going to say? Now what are you going to say? And that's why he's saying the Teimanim, they specifically, even on the short Shabbosim, they make the main meal then, because they got it right. They got it right. That's the Suda that redeems the two other Sudas on Shabbos.
In these days, in the short Shabbatot, you really have to make an effort to get that Suda.
Yeah.
People will do Kiddush as their Suda for lunch. They'll actually come and they'll wash and they'll veg. And then when they go home for lunch, and they'll daven an early Mincha.
Yeah.
And then
they go take a nap.
and then they'll have a lunch. And, you know, the lunch is their Suda Shlishi.
Right, okay.
Then they'll take a nap.
Oh, you can do that. That's nothing wrong with that.
And then, you know, and then Mincha.
But really, the best thing is to learn. The best thing is to learn on Shabbos, not to take the nap. That's the best thing.
But they're not doing
The learning you can do on Shabbos, I'm telling you, is unbelievable. What you can accomplish on Shabbos is so much greater than anything during the week. Anything. 1,000 times greater. No, really. That's why there's a big gate, so I got to go to sleep. Anyway, okay, look, we have to aspire to these things, right? Okay, anyway. Shabbos b'yosek ki oz, nisoyre kol nigun. That's when the nigun is greatest, right? The nigun. We were talking about the nigun, right? The 72, the nigun of the future, right? The nigun when Mashiach is going to come, which is going to be on that harp of 72 strands. And we learned about how we got the 72, right? The Shir Poshet, Kafel, Meshulis, Maruba. Remember that? Right? That you take from Hashem's name, the Yud, and then the Yud K, and then the Yud K Vav. The Yud K Vav K gives you 72. All right? Shayidei daiki yechoylin loichiach es Yisrael bebechinas koylei shel Moshe shenistalku oz daika. Again, that's the time when if you come to somebody, again, when you want to give when you want to give any rebuke to anybody, you have to always do it in that special way. It has to be in a special way of love, with rachmanis. You can't go over, because you can do a lot of damage, right? You can do a lot of damage by going over to somebody and giving them rebuke in the wrong way, especially if it's coming from the side of din, right? That can be very, very damaging, right? So that's why it's so important to recognize this. If you ever had, and we all always come to a thing, right? You see someone in your family, whatever, people, we always see things, but then how do you approach them, right? How do you approach them? You have to stop for a second and think about what you're going to say and how are they going to accept it. In other words, put yourself in that position. Put yourself in that position and tell yourself what you're about to tell this guy. How would you accept it? Right? Right? In other words, how would I accept it? In other words, if I made this mistake and someone came over and told me what I'm about to say, would I accept that? So if I wouldn't accept that, why should I tell it to him? Review it a couple of times again, and usually with a nigun, right? Usually with a nigun, try to figure it out. Try to figure it out, and especially the time when you connect to Moshe Rabbeinu, right? Moshe Rabbeinu was the one that knew how to give rebuke the proper way, right? Moshe Rabbeinu understood how to do that because he understood the beauty of every Jewish person. Anyone have any questions on this? Any comments? We said a lot of things. No comments today. Amazing. Wow. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. So let's go on to Hey. All right. B'zeh b'chinas ma shomer b'seinu le'inyan minyan gavrei ha'olim la'Torah. Right. So there's a discussion. There's a discussion of how many people they should call up. The Chazal had a discussion. B'sheni v'chamishi olim shleisha b'rosh chodesh olim arba b'yom tov chamisha. Right? When it comes to Rosh Chodesh, you do 4. When it comes to the holidays, you do 5. V'Yom Kippur, Shisha. On Yom Kippur, you have 6. V'Shabbos, Shiva. On Shabbos, you have 7. V'Hikshu Chazal, in Masechtas Megillah, on Daf Chav Gimel. Haini, Shloisha Chamisha, V'Shiva, Keneged Mi. Chadama, Keneged Birchas Kehanim. They said that why did 3? Because it's Keneged Birchas Kehanim. Okay, fine. Okay, in Birchas Kehanim you have 3 stanzas, so 3. Okay, V'chad Amar.
I think it's number of words in each bracha. Is that?
No, there's more words in each. No, there's more words. No. Kineged Shloisha Shomerei Hasaf of the king. Right, there were 3 ministers that would watch over the king, and Chamisha. Why Chamisha? There were Roye Pnei HaMelech. Right, they were the advisors, maybe the advisors of the king. Right, Shiva Roye Pnei HaMelech v'achar hikshu al Shisha shal Yom Kippur keneged mi. So then they said, okay, so why 6 on Yom Kippur? That was the discussion in the Gemara. This is where the Gemara reads. Vehu temua take if tchilas ha'inyan mipnei ma lo hikshu al arba shal Rosh Chodesh. Why didn't they ask, hey, how come there's 4 on Rosh Chodesh? So if you look over there, the Taisvis is trying to figure it out. So the Taisvis says, he comes up and he says, really, it's a more special day than a regular day. So of course you'll add 1 more Aliyah. That's what Taisvis says over there. If you look at Taisvis, the Chalamayid, right? So Chalamayid, you also have 4, right? V'heim hikshu ha'toisvis. They asked this. Okay, Sham the hishivu b'doichik b'rosh chodesh his bira naisenes ha'ilahaysev echad. Like I said before, the Taisvis says that we'll just add 1 more because it's holier. It's a more special day. Ayin Sham ba'af anu naimar al pi. And now what we learned already. Shebavadei al pi tam al kriyas ha'Torah b'tzibur. You don't have to ask about the 4, because again the 4 is connected like again on Shabbos, right? We have 4 seudas, right? There's 4. You have Friday night, which is Keneged Yitzchak Avinu. Avram Avinu is the morning. Yaakov Avinu is Shalosh Seudas, and you have Seudas David Malka Mashiach. 4, right? You have 4 David Abelach. Because Because the whole idea of reading the Torah is reminding us of Matan Torah. Every time we hear the Torah reading, right? So that's again a mini Kabbalah Torah. Every time. We have to remember the Matan Torah. Right? The tzaddikim say that the same way that when we were standing at Har Sinai, everybody that had any kind of an ailment was healed. Right? Anyone that had any kind of problems, any illness or anything, they were all healed. Everybody was healed. If a person was blind, he saw. If the person was missing a limb, he got his limb. Whatever the person had, whatever problem he had, he was perfectly healed. Everybody. So the tzaddikim say that really whenever we listen to the Torah, if you recognize that this is a little bit of a Kabbalah Torah and a person needs a refuah, he can try to tap into Kabbalah Torah and get his refuah from the Kriyas Torah. Is that amazing? It's a nice idea, right? A beautiful idea, right? Person's not well or something, right? So go listen to the Torah and realize that this is like by the same way by Kabbalah Torah. We were healed. So Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu, listening to the Torah, this is like Kabbalah Torah. I please heal me through the schus of the Torah. Yeah, interesting idea.
Yesterday, Rav Goldberg, who again is a very special person, connected to Rav Biederman. I think it's the Barayans.
The Bas Ayin.
Bas Ayin's.
The Bas Ayin is very special.
Maybe even today. And see, that's a big idea. People make a whole Suda.
I learned to do Sefer Bas Ayin. It's a very special Sefer.
Yeah,
very special.
So he was with someone outside of Eretz Yisrael, and a guy was very sick, one of his Talmidim. So someone says to this Talmud, listen, the only way you can get healed is if you have water from Eretz Yisrael.
Yeah.
And the Bas Ayin really loved Eretz Yisrael, and he was going to be going and ended up going to
He went, he was in Tzfaz.
Say though that he was really, really into Eretz Yisrael, and he was like, his head was always there. So he came up with an idea. He took water, and he drank it, he put it in his mouth, the Bas Ayin, and he spit it out, and he gave it to his Talmud. Okay? That's so good. And he drank it, and the guy got better. Meaning because his head was in Eretz Yisrael, the water became Eretz Yisrael. And he connected this to how did the Malachim from Eretz Yisrael end up going so far out from Machanayim to go greet Yaakov Avinu. How that, they were outside the border.
Extending themselves, right?
Yaakov Avinu himself was already in the Eretz Yisrael.
Well, so therefore he was already, they already come here. Excellent, right?
You are where your mind is.
That's right. That's the Baal Shem Tov taught, right? We know it's a faith, right? You are where your mind is. Right? There are people that are in Chutz La'aretz and they're living in Eretz Yisrael, and there are people in Eretz Yisrael that are dreaming about Chutz La'aretz. Right? It's true, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Believe me, the grass is not greener on the other side. I've been there and I've done it. Okay, so we have to always bring upon ourselves the idea of Kabbalah Torah all the time, in every generation. And you want to say something, Yossi?
No, I'm just contemplating.
Okay. V'ikar bayamim kedoshim sheikarim hu Shabbos kodesh shabay nitna Torah. And the main time to read the Torah is on Shabbos. Why? Because that's when the Torah was given to us. V'chein Yom Tov v'chol hamoed shemekablim kol kedushas mishabbos. We know all the Yom Tovim get their kedusha from Shabbos, right? Chol hamoed gets the kedusha from Shabbos, right? And we know that Pesach is called Shabbos by itself, right? It's called, right? When we talk about the Sfira, right? The Sfira, it says B'Yom Harisha, right? You have to do it. It's the day. It's Shabbos. It's Shabbos, and then it all comes from Shabbos. Hu Tchila leMikroi Kodesh. It's the beginning of Mikroi Kodesh. B'chein Rosh Chodesh Hu Gam Kein B'chinas Kedushas Yom Tov. Bechinas asa yareach lamoyedim. How do you like that? Asa yareach lamoyedim. That's counting pretty much when you make Rosh Chodesh, that's how you figure out when the holidays are going to be, right? Right? Whenever Rosh Chodesh, whenever we made Rosh Chodesh, whenever it was, they said Kodesh Kodesh, when they sanctified the month, that's when the moon, that's when the Yom Tov is. Kim Rosh Chodesh Mayadim, because from when Rosh Chodesh is, that's the account of days, right? Like for example, we have Pesach on the 15th, right? And then we know that Rosh Hashanah is the first, right? Whenever that Rosh Chodesh is going to be, and then we know that Shavuos is on 6th of Sivan, right? And then, so we know whenever Rosh Chodesh is, that's how the days are going to be. Uvahem Ikar Tikun Kriyas HaTorah Kamei Shavar B'Seinu Zal Moshe Tikun Lehem LiYisrael Shiyu Kairim B'Shabbos Umayadim B'Roshei Chadashim. Was Moshe Rabbeinu established that we should read on Shabbos, we should read on the holidays, and we should read on Rosh Chodesh. That was from Moshe Rabbeinu. Monday and Thursday came from the Nevi'im, right? The Nevi'im of the time, they decided that you can't go 3 days without water, so therefore they were masakin that you should read the Torah on Mondays and Thursdays. Ikar Kedushas Matan Torah, Anu Mamshichin Aleinu Aidei Kriyas HaTorah. How do we get the Kedusha of Matan Torah? By reading from the Torah, right? Right? Al Yedei Kriyas HaTorah, through reading from the Torah. The whole point is to clarify and fix our medama, our imagination, right? Like we were saying with Shabbos, right? We're waiting for the day Yom Shekulei Shabbos, right? What does that mean? Yom Shekulei Shabbos. We say these words, right? Right? We want a day that Yom Shekulei Shabbos. Does everyone really want a day that's all Shabbos?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Why not?
By now already.
No, but does everyone want that?
You're asking for a whole life like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Koyach HaMedama, right? Well, that's what the next world is, right? It's all Shabbos. The next world is Shabbos. So the tzaddikim tell us how you feel on Shabbos here is how you'll feel in the next world. Right? You come to the next world, right? When we check out, we go to the next world. So how are you going to, if you accustom yourself and you enjoy the Shabbos, you see the beauty of Shabbos, well then you're in for a nice life of eternity. Right? But if the person despises Shabbos, he's looking, like you said, Yossi, you're looking at the watch, that's, yeah. Okay. That could be terrible, right?
Again,
That could be a Gehenna right there. That could be the Gehenna, right? Right. Shayadei zen is barer amunas chidesh oilam shekol oilam toli einem iskayim bechol dar ubechol eis kiim ayadei amunas chidesh oilam sheisol mamshichin aleihem ayadei kriyas HaTorah. So kriyas HaTorah is so important. Right? Kriyas HaTorah, through us reading from the Torah, we're constantly renewing the Torah, we're renewing ourselves, we're renewing the thoughts in our minds. It gives us the ability to go forward and to have that that optimistic view of things and to feel that way. Unbelievable. That really, this is the whole, it's all through Kriyas HaTorah. And then you get to the Chiddush Olam Shel Asid Lavai, where everything is going to be like we said that the world is going to be covered the same way the sea covers the ocean floor, and that's how the das of Hashem will be in the world, right? Right, like they have such das in the world. Sha'oz Yisar Hashir Chodash. Then we're going to sing that new song. Shu Shir Pashut Kafel Meshulish Meruba. And then that's why we read the Torah with this song, right? You know, it's not good enough to get up there and just read the words of the Torah. Okay, it's better than nothing. But the beauty, the most beautiful part of Kriyas HaTorah is the nigun that goes with the Kriyas HaTorah. It's beautiful. There's different minhagim on the different nigunim, right? And you have the Sfardim, they have one way. Ashkenaz is a different way. There's many different ways, but they're all very, very nice. Even even so much the Yekis have their own way. It's amazing, but they're all beautiful. They're different songs on different variations of the Shir Pashit Kafel Meshulish and Meruba. Okay, that's what they all. Okay, Val came. Lo hikshu Rabbi Seinuzal al minyan arba gavrei shel Rosh Chodesh. They didn't ask about the 4. They didn't ask about the 4. Ki bevadei ikya kriya shel hayamim hakedoshim royu liyos minyan arba. It really should be 4. Why? I'm trying to get the Shir Chodesh. So I need the 4. Right? The 4. Connected also to the 4 to the 4 tzaddikim, like we said, the 4 Sudas of Shabbos and so on. She bechinas arba. Kihu shir pashit kafel meshulish maruba nimshach me'arba oises Hashem yud kei vav. You come from the 4 letters of Hashem, like we said, right? I'll just review for you one time. How do you get 72 from yud kei vav kei? So there's something called the shir pashit. So the shir pashit is 1. So you have the first letter yud from Hashem's name. That's 1. That's 10, right? Then you take yud and the hey, right? Yud and hey. Now you get how much?
Hey is how much?
Is 5.
Oh.
So you have
50.
No. 10 and 10 and 5 is 25.
Okay.
Then take yud hey vav, right? Then you get altogether 46. And then yud kei vav kei is 26. Add 26 to 46 gives you 72. That's how you get your 72. Okay. Sheka shleibas hashir u kishehu meruba. The main shir is when it's meruba, when they have all of them together. It's all together. You have then you have the 72 strands. Therefore, you should always read on the days that have more kedusha to them 4, right? Like we read on Chalamoed and we read on Rosh Chodesh, right? Ki ikra akriya b'shvil riboy. The Dalit of the 4, that's Mashlim the Shira. That's what you complete the Shira, you complete the song of the Lasid Lavai. Because the main Kriya, it has to be 4. So we'll stop this over here now. We'll just do a halacha now please mark where we are. Can you please mark where we are? We're going to start off now we're going to do them Rosh Chodesh. Tomorrow we're going to do Rosh Chodesh.
Does nothing relate to times when you read the Torah at night?
We only read the Torah at night by Simchas Torah.
Yeah.
And sometimes they do Mishnah Torah on Leil Hashanah Rabbah. Do you ever see that? Do you ever listen to Mishnah Torah on Hashanah Rabbah? Leil Hashanah Rabbah? Take out a Torah and you read the whole Sefer Devarim. Never did that? Never did. Okay. Well, those are only 2 times you read at night, right? No, it's Tikkun. No, there's Tikkun Leil Hashanah Rabbah, but there's also something they do Mishnah Torah. Mishnah Torah is you take out the Sefer Torah and you read through the whole Sefer Devarim except for V'zayis HaBracha. You stop at the you don't finish it, and that's what they do Leil Hashanah. Okay, but anyway, all right. Let's learn Hilchos Tefillin now. We always learn halacha in Shulchan Aruch as well. Okay, so we're learning Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and we're in Siman Yud, which is 10, and today we're up to 11. All right, so yesterday we learned the beautiful thing when you're putting on your tefillin, remember that you're doing a mitzvah. Hey, remember Hashem, I'm putting on these tefillin because Hashem wants me to put on these tefillin. That's a beautiful idea. Really, before you do any mitzvah, to always have in mind, I'm doing this mitzvah because Hashem wants me to do the mitzvah. Right? That's why you say l'shem yichud before you do a mitzvah. You want to remind yourself. But in the very, very basic, the bracha, Asher kidishanu b'mitzvaysa v'tzivanu. Hey, Hashem commanded me, that's why I'm doing this. Okay. Now let's do Yud Aleph. Tefillin. Shel yad v'shel rosh. Shtei mitzvahs hein, ve'einon ma'akavois zeh ezeh. Tefillin shel yad and tefillin shel rosh are 2 separate mitzvahs. And one doesn't negate the other one. What does he mean? She'im ein loy el achas. Let's say a person comes to a situation, whatever. He has only either the yad or he has the rosh, right? Hopefully it'll never happen, but you never know, right? Things can happen. You find that you only have one. Or the person has a problem, right? Let's say the person had surgery on his head, for example, and he has bandages on his head or something, right? And he can't put the tefillin on, right? Or he has a whatever happened to his arm, he can't put the tefillin on his arm for some reason. What does he do? Right? What do you do? Right? Maniach achas, so you put on one. Right? The person can't put on the rosh, and he can put on the yad, so do that. If you can't put on the yad, but you can put on the rosh, then do that. In other words, they realize that there are two separate mitzvahs.
So you have a cast, for example, a broken arm,
Yes.
and on the arm that you put your tefillin on.
Yeah.
So you just don't do it.
You wouldn't put the tefillin on the cast. No, you can't put the tefillin on. It's a problem.
Depends who you ask.
It's a problem because you have to put on the yad keya. Oh, but anyway, we're talking about. Well, let's say the person had. Okay, either way, if you put on, let's say you decide you're going to put on the tefillin shel yad, you make the bracha l'aniach tefillin like you normally make, right? You make the bracha l'aniach tefillin like you normally make. Levad, only. You only make that one. But let's say the person had to put on the shel rosh. Right? Let's say that's the one he was doing. Right? But that's not for Sfardim. Right? You only make one bracha, right? Sfardim, this is minhag Ashkenaz. Sfardim only make one bracha. So then what the Sfardi would do is if he had to do that, he would only make the bracha l'haniach tefillin. Right? Because that's the only bracha you make, right? So if a Sfardi came into this situation, then he can only put on the rosh, for whatever reason it was, right? So he would only make l'haniach tefillin. That's it. He makes that bracha. And it's to do the Baruch Shem Kivayid Machusa like you normally do. You understand how that works, right? Do you have any questions on this? It's pretty simple, right? If you know, realize that the chiddush here is that they're two separate mitzvahs, right? And people don't realize that. People don't realize that the yad and the rosh are two separate mitzvahs. Yeah, we do them together, but one does not negate the other one. So if you can't do one, but you can do the other one, you can still accomplish the other mitzvah. You understand? That's the chiddush from here today.
And if a person is missing an arm, he would never put on the yad ever.
If he's missing that arm,
He's missing an arm.
Or something.
No, that says that he has to ask a shayla, but then he would probably put it on the other arm. If he has only one arm.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Because if he only has one, that's going to be the stronger arm.
Yeah, okay, but he could probably listen. That he should definitely ask a shayla if a person has that problem. Okay, we're not going to paskin that over here now, but it's a problem because again it has to be yad keya. But okay, either way, everyone. So I wish everyone a wonderful day. Thank you for participating, and Mitzvah Hashem will continue tomorrow. Sarah Tovot.